Hello, students. I hope you all are doing good. Today, we are going to discuss JEE PYQs of chapter Electromagnetic Waves. So, this is the disclaimer. After this lecture, you will be able to understand the electromagnetic spectrum and relative ordering of different electromagnetic waves like radio waves, visible light, X rays, etc., based on their energy or frequency. Explain the behavior of electromagnetic waves at material boundaries, including changes in wavelength, speed, while frequency remains constant. Calculate force on charged particles in electromagnetic fields using F equal to QE plus QV cross B, that is Lorentz force. Understand that stationary charges only experience electric force, magnetic force is zero. Compute RMS values of fields and forces. Apply the principle that in electromagnetic waves, electric field, magnetic field, and direction of propagation are mutually perpendicular, following right hand rule. So let's begin with the first question. Arrange the following electromagnetic radiations per quantum in order of increasing energy. Okay, we know that energy is equal to energy associated with the photon of any radiation is equal to H equal to E equal to H nu. H is Planck's constant, nu is the frequency of that electromagnetic radiation, and E is the energy associated with the photon of that electromagnetic wave. Okay, if frequency of any electromagnetic wave is more, that means energy is directly proportional to frequency. H is constant, Planck's constant. That means energy of that electromagnetic wave will also be more. Okay, so four type of electromagnetic waves are given. Blue light. Blue light lies in visible region. Yellow light also lies in visible region. X-ray, radio wave. So which option is correct? Which option according to their increasing energy? CABD means you have to write the electromagnetic waves in the order of ascending order, in the order of increasing energy. So CABD, BADC, DBAC, ABDC. So I will give you some time to solve it. Correct option is C, DBAC. Okay, so EM spectra, those who have solved are appreciated, and those who haven't solved yet, then they can refer to solution. So EM spectrum has order of increasing energy as radio waves. Okay, so gamma rays has maximum energy because frequency of gamma rays is maximum. Okay, and X rays have less energy than gamma rays. Ultraviolet radiation has less energy than X rays. Visible light has less energy than ultraviolet radiation. Infrared has less energy than visible light, and microwaves have less energy than infrared radiation, and radio waves have least energy among all the electromagnetic waves. Okay, so that means X rays will be having most amount of energy. Okay, among these given four electromagnetic radiations, and radio wave will be having least amount of energy. Okay, but what about blue light and yellow light? So blue and yellow light are part of visible lights. So visible light has order of increasing energy as. So violet of visible light is towards ultraviolet radiation, and red of visible light, red region of visible light is towards infrared radiation. Okay, since ultraviolet radiation have more energy, that means violet light that is near the ultraviolet radiation range. So violet light will be having more energy than the red light. So it is according to that sequence. Violet will be having more energy than indigo light. Indigo light will be having more energy than blue light. Blue light will be more energy than green, then yellow, then orange, and least amount of energy will be associated with the red light. Okay, so you can remember it using mnemonic Vibgyor. So violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Violet will be having most uh, will be having large frequency among all the colors, largest frequency. Okay, and red will be having smallest frequency. So energy, amount of energy associated with the violet color will be more, and associated with the red color will be least. Okay, so that means blue light will be having more energy than yellow light. Okay, so given options can be arranged as radio wave will be having least amount of energy, then more than radio wave, yellow light will be having more energy than radio waves, and blue light will be having more energy than yellow light, and finally X-ray will be having most amount of energy among given options. So correct order is D, B, A, C. Okay, so C option is correct. Next question, a plane electromagnetic wave travels in free space along the x-axis. Okay, so direction of propagation is given. The electric field component of the wave at particular point of space and time is, so electric field component E is given 6 volt per meter along the y direction. Its corresponding magnetic field components B would be. So you have to find the B. E is given. Okay, direction of propagation is given. Direction of electric field is given. So you have to find the magnetic field. Okay, so B would be, options are 6 into 10 to the power -8 Tesla along x direction, 2 into 10 to the power -8 Tesla along the y direction, 2 into 10 to the power -8 Tesla along the z direction, and 6 into 10 to the power -8 Tesla along the z direction. So I will give you some time to solve it. So let's see. C option is correct option. 2 into 10 to the power -8 Tesla along the z direction. So in a plane electromagnetic wave, the electric field E, magnetic field B, and the direction of propagation K are mutually perpendicular. They satisfy the relation. So how we can find the direction of propagation? By taking cross product of directions of electric field and magnetic field. So E cap cross B vector will give the, E cap is the direction of electric field, B cap is the direction of magnetic field. So E cap cross B cap will give the direction of propagation. So here K cap, this K cap is not the direction along Z. This K is propagation vector. So K cap. So it is giving the direction of propagation. Okay, given the direction of propagation is given along. So we are not using here I cap, J cap, K cap, because K cap we are using for propagation constant also. So we are using X cap, Y cap. So X cap means direction along X axis. Y cap means direction along Y axis. Okay, so for eliminating the confusion between I cap, J cap, and K cap, we are using X cap and Y cap here. So direction of propagation, this K cap, that is the propagation vector. Direction of propagation vector will be along, it is given, it is along X direction. So X cap. Direction of electric field vector is along Y axis. So Y cap. So we can find using cross product. So Y cap cross B cap will be equal to X cap. So according to cyclic property of vectors, we know that I cross j means x cap cross y cap will give the z cap. Okay, but here result is x cap. Result of cross product is x cap. So cross product of which two unit vector will give the x cap? So we know that j cross k will give the I cap. Means y cap cross z cap will give the x cap. So that means the direction of magnetic field will be along z direction according to cyclic properties of vector. So this means b cap will be equal to z cap. For planar wave, electric and magnetic field strength are related by. So the relation between the electric field strength and magnetic field, B is equal to E upon C according to NCERT equation 8.10. Okay, putting the value of E equal to 6 volt per meter and putting the value of C, which is speed of light 3 into 10 per 8 meter per second. So B will be equal to 6 upon 3 into 10 per 8. So B will be equal to 2 into 10 per minus 8 Tesla. So magnetic field component B would be 2 into 10 per minus 8 Tesla along the Z direction. Okay. So option C, 2 into 10 per minus 8 Tesla along the Z direction is correct. Next question. An EM wave from air enters a medium. Okay. So an electromagnetic wave enters a medium. The electric fields are E1 equal to E naught 1. This E naught 1 is the maximum value of electric field for this E1. Okay, peak value or maximum value of electric field for this E1. So E naught 1 x cap. That means electric field is along x axis and cos 2 pi nu z upon c minus t. So what is this form? So what is 2 pi nu? It is omega. You multiply omega in the bracket, it will become omega z upon c minus omega t. What is omega z upon c? What is omega by c? Omega by c is k. We have done the relation. C is equal to omega by k. Omega by k gives the speed of electromagnetic wave in the vacuum or in air. So omega by c will be k. So it will become kz minus omega t eventually. So they have rearranged or modified the equation in air. So E1 is in electric field in air and E2 equal to E naught 2 x cap cos k 2z minus ct. So this is second equation that is the equation of electric field. That is the form of electric field in medium, in some medium, where the wave number k and frequency v, frequency nu refer to their values in air. So k is the wave number in air. Frequency nu is frequency nu is the frequency of electromagnetic wave in air. The medium is non-magnetic. Okay, if epsilon r1 and epsilon r2 refer to relative permittivities of air and medium respectively. So epsilon r1 is the relative permittivity of air and epsilon r2 is the relative permittivity of medium. So what is relative permittivity? It is the permittivity of medium upon permittivity of air. Okay, which of the following options is correct? Okay, so two equations of electric field is given. One is for electromagnetic wave in air and one is for electromagnetic wave in medium. Okay, so they have modified the argument of cos also. In second equation, it is written k2z minus ct. So if we multiply z in the equation, so it will become 2kz minus kct. Okay, so we know that omega by k is equal to c. So omega will be equal to kc. So when k will multiply with ct, so it will become omega t. Okay, so which options are correct? Epsilon r1 upon epsilon r2 is equal to 4. Epsilon r1 upon epsilon r2 will be equal to 2. Epsilon r1 upon epsilon r2 will be equal to 1 by 4. Epsilon r1 upon epsilon r2 will be equal to 1 by 2. So I will give you some time to think about it. So let's see the solution. C option is correct. Epsilon R1 upon epsilon R2 will be equal to 1 by 4. So refractive index of the medium is given by, we have discussed about refractive index. So the formula for refractive index N is equal to root mu R into epsilon R, which was equal to ratio of speeds. The refractive index of any medium is given by the ratio of speed in the vacuum or air upon speed in the medium. Okay, so refractive index is the ratio of speed in air or vacuum to the speed in that medium. So that is the refractive index of that medium. It is also given by root mu R or epsilon R. Mu R is the relative permeability of that medium and epsilon R is the relative permittivity of that medium. Okay, so mu R is relative magnetic permeability of the medium and epsilon R is the relative electric permittivity of the medium and V is the speed of light in material medium. For a non-magnetic medium, if medium is non-magnetic, okay, that means mu R will be equal to 1. Relative permeability will be equal to 1. If material is diamagnetic, then it is slightly less than 1. If material is paramagnetic, it is slightly greater than 1. And if material is paramagnetic, then relative permeability is much greater than 1. For non-magnetic materials or for non-magnetic medium, mu R will be equal to 1. Okay, so refractive index will become, so the expression of refractive index, root mu R will become 1. So epsilon R will be equal to C by V only. Okay, so this is the expression. So root epsilon R will be equal to C upon V. So epsilon R will be equal to C upon V whole square. Okay. So to find the epsilon R of the medium, we need to find the speed V of the EM wave of the material medium. Okay. So to find the epsilon R1 and epsilon R2, we have to find the for epsilon R1. So epsilon R1 is the permittivity of, is the relative permittivity of air. Okay, so epsilon R1 we can find because relative permittivity of air means permittivity of air with respect to permittivity of air, which is equal to 1. Okay, but relative permittivity of medium, for that we have to find the V, speed of EM wave in the material medium. Okay, so for finding the epsilon R2, we need this V, speed of electromagnetic wave in medium. Okay, so hence on entering the medium, frequency of EM wave does not change. It is the wavelength of, okay, when any electromagnetic wave, we will discuss it in optics also, that we are going to start tomorrow. So we are going to discuss that when light, which is also an electromagnetic wave, when it enters any medium, the wavelength and frequency will change. Wavelength and velocity will change. Wavelength and velocity of electromagnetic wave will change, but frequency remains same. Okay, frequency doesn't change because it is associated with the energy. Energy of electromagnetic wave cannot change. It remains same. Only wavelength and speed will change. Okay, so hence entering the medium, frequency of EM wave does not change. It is the wavelength of EM wave which changes on entering a medium, and due to change in wavelength, velocity also changes according to relation C equal to nu lambda. So lambda and velocity will change by same ratio, so that frequency will remain same. So for electromagnetic wave, relation between speed in material medium and magnitude of propagation vector k is given by. So what is the relation between wave number k, or we can say propagation vector k, and speed in material medium? So relation is given by, so omega by k is equal to c. It is for electromagnetic wave in air or vacuum. But if electromagnetic wave is in medium, So omega by k, that is omega medium by k medium. Okay, so which is equal to V. Now omega by k will not be equal to C. It will be equal to V because wave is in medium. Okay, so omega medium will be equal to omega because omega is equal to 2 pi nu, and nu will not change. We have discussed that electromagnetic wave, when it enters any medium, frequency of electromagnetic wave doesn't change. That means omega will not change. So omega medium will be same as omega. But propagation constant, or we can say wave number, it will be different in the medium. So k medium will be equal to k medium. Okay, so V, speed of electromagnetic wave in any medium, will be given by omega upon k medium. So given electric field expression in air. So in air, electric field is given by E1, which is equal to E naught 1 x cap cos 2 pi nu z by c minus t. Now we will convert this 2 pi nu into omega. So E1 will be equal to E naught 1 x cap cos omega z by c minus t. So E1 will be equal to, again, E naught 1 x cap cos omega z by c minus t. So E1 will be equal to E naught 1 x cap cos omega z by c minus omega t. So now multiply omega in the bracket. So it will become omega z by c minus omega t. Now omega by k equal to c. So omega by c will be equal to k. So it will become E1 equal to E naught 1 x cap cos, now k is equal to omega by c. So omega by c will become k, kz minus omega t. So it returned to its standard form, which we have discussed in theory section. So from electric field in medium, so this is the electric field in air. Now electric field in medium is given by E2 equal to E naught 2 x cap cos k 2z minus ct. Now again same expression. Now we will multiply this k in the bracket. So E naught will be equal to E naught 2 x cap cos 2 kz minus kct. Okay, so 2 kz will remain as it is, and kct. So omega by c is equal to k. So when we multiply this say c with k, it will become omega equal to kc. So we can write kc equal to omega according to relation k equal to omega by c. So E2 will be equal to E naught 2 x cap cos 2kz minus omega t. Okay, now comparing it with the standard form of planar wave, which is E equal to E naught cos kz minus omega t. Okay, so it will become, so from here, this k medium will be 2k. By comparing it with standard form, k medium will be 2k. So this means k medium is 2k. Here k is magnitude of propagation constant in air or vacuum. K is magnitude of propagation constant, or we can say k is wave number in air or vacuum. Now speed v in the medium becomes, so now we'll put here v equal to omega by k medium. So equal to omega by 2k. So omega by k is c. Omega by k for air is c. So v will be equal to c by 2 because c equal to omega by k. Okay. Now we'll find the refractive index, or we can say the relative permeability or permittivity. Speed in air vacuum is c. So expression of omega epsilon r will be equal to c by v square. So for vacuum, now they ask epsilon r1 or epsilon r2. Okay, epsilon r1 is the relative permittivity of air. So for air or vacuum, v is equal to c. So relative permeability epsilon r1 will be equal to c upon c square, which is 1 square, which is equal to 1. Now for medium, epsilon r2, which is equal to c by v square. Now in medium, v is c by 2. We have calculated. So epsilon r2 will be equal to c upon c by 2. So c and c will get cancelled out. 2 will go in the numerator. So it will become 4. So epsilon r2 will be equal to 4. Now we have to find the epsilon r1 upon epsilon r2 according to the options. So epsilon r1 is 1, epsilon r2 is 4. So ratio of both these permittivities will become, so epsilon r1 upon epsilon r2 will be equal to 1 by 4. So which option is correct? C option, epsilon r1 upon epsilon r2 will be equal to 1 by 4 is correct option. Okay. So next question, match list 1 electromagnetic wave type with list 2, its association or application. Okay, we have discussed about the application in the theory section. And select the correct options from the choices given below the list. So list 1 contains infrared waves, radio waves, X-rays, ultraviolet. List 2 contains for broadcasting to treat muscular strain, their applications. To detect fracture of bones absorbed by the ozone layer of the atmosphere. So which electromagnetic wave is associated with which application? So options are given A, B, C, D. Okay, so it is connecting list 1 with list 2. So you have to detect which option is correct. So I will give you some time to think about it. NEET PYQs will be uploaded on the website. Okay, there is no live lecture for NEET PYQs. Only JEE PYQs are on live. But NEET PYQs will also be there on the website. So let's see the solution. A option is correct. P with second means infrared waves to treat muscular strain. Okay, we have discussed about it. One of its application, therapeutic application, means it is used for therapy to treat muscular strains or joint pains. Like, okay, so Q is associated with 1, means radio waves for broadcasting. Okay, for broadcasting radio signals, for television. Okay, for mobile phones. So it is used for telecommunication, for broadcasting. Okay, X-rays is associated with third, to detect fracture of bones. So X-rays can penetrate through the tissues, but it cannot penetrate through the bones. So X-rays are used to detect fracture of bones. Ultraviolet rays, they are absorbed by the ozone layer of the atmosphere because they are harmful for the skin. So infrared waves are used to treats muscular strains. Radio waves are used for broadcasting. X-rays are used to detect fracture of bones. Ultraviolet rays are absorbed by the ozone layer of the atmosphere. So option A is correct. Next question, the magnetic field of a plane electromagnetic wave is given by B equal to B naught I cap. So magnetic field is in X direction. Cos kz minus omega t plus B1 J cap. So magnetic field is not entirely along x-axis or y-axis. It is lying in xy plane. Okay, so it is lying in xy plane. So B is equal to B naught I cap cos kz minus omega t plus B1 J cap cos kz plus omega t. Okay, so this is a complex form of magnetic field equation. So we can write it as this also. Okay, so where B naught is equal to 3 into 10 to the power minus 5 Tesla and B1 is equal to 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 Tesla. The RMS value of force experienced by a stationary charge Q is equal to 10 to the power minus 4 Coulomb at Z equal to 0 is closest to. Okay, so they have mentioned stationary charge, means there will be not any magnetic force experienced by that charge because charge is stationary. Only electric force can be experienced by that charge. So what amount of electric force will be experienced and how electric field is there due to magnetic field? we will calculate the electric field in that region, then we will calculate the force experienced by stationary charge and RMS value of force experienced by stationary charge. That means we require the RMS value of electric field also at Z equal to 0. So options are 0.6 Newton, 0.1 Newton, 0.9 Newton, or 3 into 10 to the power minus 2 Newton. So I will give you some time to solve it. So option A 0.6 Newton is correct. Okay, so force on charge Q in presence of electric field E and magnetic field B. If both electric field and magnetic field are present in the region, then force experienced by charge Q will be F equal to QE plus QV cross B according to NCERT equation 4.3. So this is the Lorentz force experienced by both magnetic and electric field present in the region. But for magnetic force, that is QV cross B, the charge should be in motion. There should be any velocity. But here they have mentioned stationary charge, means there will not be any magnetic force on the charge. So charge is stationary, that means V equal to 0. So magnetic force will be 0. So force on stationary charge Q will become F equal to Q into E only. So force is due to only electric field. So to find the force, we need the expression of electric field E. So in EM wave, changing magnetic field give rise to electric field and changing electric field give rise to the magnetic field. Okay, we have discussed that time varying magnetic field will produce electric field and time varying electric field will produce magnetic field. So that magnetic field given in the question will produce the electric field and that electric field will cause the force on the stationary charge. Okay, so from the given expression of magnetic field, we need to find the electric field first. Okay, so this formula that we are using is for Lorentz force. We have discussed this formula in moving charges and magnetism chapter, which is chapter 4 of class 12th. So this F is equal to Lorentz force on any charge moving with velocity V in the region of electric and both magnetic field is given by F equal to QE. That is the electric force. QE is the electric force experienced by that charge and QV cross B is the magnetic force experienced by the charge moving with velocity V. Okay, so this combined force is equal to Lorentz force. Okay, so because charge is stationary, there is no velocity. So QV cross B, this term will become 0. That means there is no magnetic force on the charge. Only electric force is on the charge. So given magnetic field is B is equal to B naught I cap cos kz minus omega t plus B1 j cap cos kz plus omega t. Okay, so since we have to find the force at z equal to 0, it is asking the question, you have to find the force at z equal to 0. So we need to find the fields at z equal to 0. So we need to find the electric field at z equal to 0. Means magnetic field at z equal to 0 is producing electric field at z equal to 0. So we will reduce this formula for z equal to 0. So B will be equal to, after putting z equal to 0, B will be equal to B naught I cap cos minus omega t plus B1 j cap cos omega t. Got it? We know that cos minus theta is equal to cos theta. Okay, so cos will swallow the negative sign which is associated with the angle. So cos minus theta will be equal to cos theta. So cos minus omega t will also be equal to cos omega t. So B is equal to B naught I cap cos omega t plus B1 j cap cos omega t. So take the common term which is cos omega t from the expression. So B will be equal to B naught I cap plus B1 j cap cos omega t. Okay. So this cos omega t is the alternating function. Okay. Due to which magnetic field is changing with respect to time. And B naught I cap, B naught and B1, they are constant values, but they are in different directions. B naught is in x direction, B1 is in y direction. So they are perpendicular to each other. So we have to find the resultant of both these. So in a sinusoidal function, constant part is called the amplitude. So this is constant part, B naught I cap plus B1 j cap. This is the amplitude. We have to find the resultant of this amplitude. This means amplitude or peak value of magnetic field B peak is mod B naught I cap plus B1 j cap. Mod means the magnitude of or resultant of this whole term. So how we can find the resultant? B naught is in x direction, B1 is in y direction. So they are perpendicular to each other. We will apply the vector algebra. We will find the resultant for perpendicular vectors to find the peak value or maximum value of magnetic field. So this means peak value is equal to mod B naught I cap plus B1 j cap. Since I cap and j cap are perpendicular, so according to vector algebra, resultant B peak, maximum value of magnetic field will be found using root B naught square plus B1 square. How we can find the resultant of two vectors A and B having angle theta between them? So A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta root. Since angle between both these B naught and B1 is 90 degrees, so cos 90 degree will be 1. Oh sorry, cos 90 degree will be 0. So that term will be eliminated. Only B naught square plus B1 square root remain as it is. Okay, so put the values of B naught and B1 in the equation. So B peak will be root 3 into 10 to the power minus 5 square plus 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 square. So B peak will be root 9 into 10 to the power minus 10 plus 4 into 10 to the power minus 12. Okay, we have to equate the powers. So we will make the power of 10 to the power minus 12, make it 10 to the power minus 10, and it will become 0.04 into 10 to the power minus 10. Okay, so B peak will be equal to, now take 10 to the power minus 10 power as common, and it will become 9.04 into 10 to the power minus 10. Now we'll take the root. So B peak will be equal to 3.01 into 10 to the power minus 5 Tesla. So this is the peak value of magnetic field. Now calculate the peak value of current. So by the relation of amplitude of electric field, amplitude of magnetic field, and speed of light, we can find the peak value of electric field also. Okay. So we know that B peak is equal to E peak upon C. Okay, we have discussed about the relation B naught equal to E naught upon C. So that is the peak values. So B peak equal to E peak upon C according to NCERT equation 8.10. So E peak will be C into B peak. So putting the value of B peak, which is we have calculated 3.01 into 10 to the power minus 5 Tesla, and value of speed of light, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8. So E naught will be equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8, 3.01 into 10 to the power minus 5. Okay, so E peak will be approximately equal to 9.03 into 10 to the power 3 volt per meter. So this is the maximum value, or we can say amplitude of electric field. But to calculate the RMS value, so what is asked? RMS value of force experienced. Okay, so we have to find the RMS value of electric field also. So we know that how maximum value and RMS value are related to each other. So RMS value of electric field is given by ERMS equal to E peak upon root 2. So ERMS will be 9.03 into 10 to the power 3 upon root 2. So ERMS will approximately be equal to 6.38 into 10 to the power 3 volt per meter. Now we will calculate the force experience, RMS value of force experience by the stationary charge. So calculation of RMS force on the charge will be RMS force on stationary charge Q in an electric field ERMS is given by. So we know that F equal to QE. That is for That is generalized formula. If we are going to find the RMS value of force, so FRMS will be equal to Q into ERMS. So Q, we know that it is given in the question 10 to the power minus 4 coulomb, and ERMS we have calculated 6.38 into 10 to the power 3 volt per meter. So FRMS will be equal to 10 in 10 raised to power minus 4 into 6.38 into 10 to the power 3. So FRMS will be equal to 0.638 Newton. And it is asked that which is the closest value given in the options. It is given 0.6 Newton. Hence, the RMS value of force experienced by the stationary charge is approximately 0.6 Newton. So option A is 0.6 Newton is correct option. Got it? So next question. The magnetic field in a traveling electromagnetic wave has a peak value of 20 nanotesla. Okay, means 20 into 10 to the power minus 9 Tesla. The peak value of electric field is given by. Okay, this is a simple question. Options 12 volt per meter, 3 volt per meter, 6 volt per meter, or 9 volt per meter. So I will give you some time to think about it. So correct option is C, 6 volt per meter. So it is given in the question. Peak value of magnetic field B naught equal to 20 Newton nanotesla, which is equal to 20 into 10 to the power 9 minus 9 Tesla. So in an electromagnetic wave, peak value of electric field and peak value of magnetic field are related by which relation? B naught is equal to E naught upon C. Very important relation, which is used in most of the questions. So according to NCERT question 8.10, so E naught will be equal to CB naught. So putting the value of B naught equal to 20 nanotesla and value of C, which is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So E naught will be equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 into 20 into 10 to the power minus 9. E naught is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 into 20 into 10 to the power minus 9. So it will be 6 volt per meter. So peak value of electric field strength is E naught equal to 6 volt per meter. Hence option C, 6 volt per meter is correct option. Next question. If the magnetic field in a plane electromagnetic wave is given by B equal to 3 into 10 to the power minus 8 sine 1.6 into 10 to the power 3x plus 48 into 10 to the power 10 t j cap Tesla. So what is it? 3 into 10 to the power minus 8. It is peak value of magnetic field. 1.6 into 10 to the power 3. It is K. And 48 into 10 to the power 10. It is omega. So what will be the expression of electric field? So K and omega will be same for electric field also. We have to find the peak value of electric field and direction of electric field. Okay. So options are given. E equal to 60 sine 1.6 into 10 to the power 3x plus 48 into 10 to the power 10 t k gap volt per meter. E equal to 9 sine 1.6 into 10 to the power 3x plus 48 into 10 to the power 10 t k gap volt per meter. E equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 sine 1.6 into 10 to the power 3x plus 48 into 10 to the power 10 t j cap volt per meter, or E is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 sine 1.6 into 10 to the power 3x plus 48 into 10 to the power 10 t I cap volt per meter. So I will give you some time to solve it. So option B, E equal to 9 sine 1.6 into 10 to the power 3x plus 48 into 10 to the power 10 t k cap volt per meter is correct. So what is given wave? B equal to 3 into 10 to the power minus 8 sine 1.6 into 10 to the power 3x plus 48 into 10 to the power 10 t j cap Tesla. So comparing it with standard form, B equal to B naught sine kx plus omega t. So from here B naught is, so this gives amplitude of magnetic field B naught equal to 3 into 10 to the power minus 8 Tesla. Also wave number k equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power 3 meter inverse. And angular frequency omega is equal to 48 into 10 to the power 10. This also means that it is propagating along minus x direction. Let direction of electric field is along n cap. So you have to assume the direction of electric field is along n cap. So expression for electric field for planar wave E equal to E naught sine kx plus omega t n cap volt per meter. So to find the expression of the electric field, we need the direction of electric field components and amplitude of electric field. Relation between amplitude of electric and magnetic field in a plane wave is given by B naught equal to E naught upon C according to NCERT equation 8.10. So E naught will be equal to C B naught. So we'll find the peak value of electric field, which is equal to C B naught. So putting the value of B naught and C, E naught will be equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8, 3 into 10 to the power minus 8. So E naught will be equal to 9 volt per meter. So amplitude of electric field for a given wave is 9 volt per meter. Now we need to find the direction of electric field components only. In a plane electromagnetic wave, the electric field E, magnetic field B and the direction of propagation, that is propagation vector K, are mutually perpendicular. So they satisfy the relation E cap cross B cap will be equal to K cap. So this K cap is not unit vector along z direction. This is propagation vector, direction of propagation vector. Since propagation direction is minus I cap and B cap is along J cap, means along y axis, then E cap cross J cap will be equal to minus I cap. This will satisfy if E cap will be equal to K cap. So this cyclic property, that which cross product of which two unit vector will result in minus I cap. So cross product of J cross K is I cap. Okay. So K cross J will be equal to minus I cap. Okay. So direction of electric field will be along K cap, means will be along Z axis. Okay. So from expression of electric field, E is equal to E naught sine kx plus omega t n cap volt per meter, it will become, so after putting value of E naught and n cap is equal to K cap, which is unit vector of Z axis. So argument kx plus omega t of electric field will remain same as argument of magnetic field. It will not change. So E will be equal to 9 sine 1.6 into 10 to the power 3x plus 48 into 10 to the power 10 t K cap volt per meter. Now the electric field E associated with the given magnetic field is E is equal to 9 sine 1.6 into 10 to the power 3x plus 48 into 10 to the power 10 t K cap volt per meter. So option B is correct option. So next question. During the propagation of electromagnetic waves in a medium, both electric and magnetic energy densities are zero. Electric energy density is double of magnetic energy density. electric energy density is half of the magnetic energy density, or electric energy density is equals to the magnetic energy density. So which option is correct? So D option is correct. Electric energy density is equal to the magnetic energy density. Okay, so electric energy density of electric field is given as U is equal to half epsilon naught E square. We have discussed about it in the additional topic for NEET and JEE. Okay, and the energy density of magnetic field is given as UB is equal to B square upon 2 epsilon naught. Okay, so we have to prove. We have also done the proof in NCERT exercise also. There was a question related to that to prove they are equal. Again, we are doing this. So epsilon naught is permittivity of free space and mu naught is permeability of free space. So for planar wave, E and B are in phase and strength of electric field and magnetic field are related as E is equal to CB according to NCERT equation 8.10. So where C is equal to 1 upon root epsilon naught mu naught according to NCERT equation 8.9a. Now put these values, put the value of C in above equation. So then E will become E equal to 1 by root epsilon naught mu naught into B. Okay, so now we will modify it. So again same expression. So squaring on both sides, it will become E square will be equal to 1 by epsilon naught mu naught B square. So epsilon naught E square will be equal to B square upon mu naught. Okay, now we will multiply half on both sides. So multiplying both sides by half. So it will become half epsilon naught E square equal to B square upon 2 epsilon naught. So on the left hand side, there is electric energy density, and on the right hand side, it is magnetic energy density. So they are equal. We have proved it. So UE is equal to UB. Hence the average energy density of electric field equals the average energy density of magnetic field. This means in an electromagnetic wave, energy is equally divided between the electric and magnetic fields. So option D, energy density is equal to the magnetic energy density, is correct. So this is all about JPYQs of chapter electromagnetic waves. I hope you understood it well. Thank you.